But since then, I have been really tirelessly researching and sharing this vitally critical information that every American must know and share. And I implore everybody to do what I do. Get on there, get on YouTube, make videos, learn the truth, tell them, show videos, show the tyranny. Watch them like they're doing in New York when they're doing horrible things and the police are ganging up. Show them when they set them up. Show them. Now, police out there, anyone that's listening, military, police, those that are awake know what's going on and you're good. In fact, I'm going to just mention this. I had during the last winter, I went off the road and a Connecticut State Trooper came to assist me, and he did everything absolutely by the book and constitutionally. I mean, I know that he could have ran my license plate and he saw my license and my name and everything, because they have everything. I mean, they have all your information. They even know if your insurance card is valid. Believe me, they do. And I was, of course, everything was fine. He must have saw my face being the same face on the picture, and he just said, "Howard, is everything okay?" And I says, "Yeah." And I said, "What?" He said, "What happened?" And I told him what happened, and he asked me one question: "Did you have anything to drink today?" And he was about 3 feet away from me. And I said, "No." And he didn't assist me, but he waited. He stayed there and put flares on the side of the road, and we chatted a little bit. I didn't say anything, but I was just waiting for him, just to say, "Let me look in your car," or whatever. No. He was, I clearly wasn't intoxicated, and he just constitutionally did what was right. Anyhow, back to the end of the show here. I'd like to close in a few minutes that we have left with speaking about the fact that the people are under this mind control, and we have to understand that presidents are not kings, but the controllers think they are. In fact, they think they're even better than humans. And through the Council on Foreign Relations in the United Nations, they dictate tyranny by creating wars and destabilizing nations to take over the banks and the oil reserves and various mineral reserves. I'm no fan of Gaddafi, but now Al-Qaeda is the ruling government, and NATO's killing people. The black population is being hoarded up into concentration camps and killed because of the terrible hatred and racism that is there. So I don't know what else to say other than the fact that you have to identify the enemy. And the enemy is the man behind the curtain. In The Wizard of Oz, they said, "Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain." And Frank L. Baums was really referring to, he knew that there were forces that were controlling things back then in I think it was 1910 he wrote that book. And the Yellow Brick Road, of course, was the whole Emerald City, and it was all about the money and the gold standard. And I think William Jennings Bryan was depicted as the Cowardly Lion because of his defeat in the election of 1896. Anyway, I think that people have to really look behind the curtain and say, listen, if the media is telling me all of this, this is their point of view that's being told by someone. The people are angry, they want this and that, and then they're distracting us by saying that they want, guarantee a job and all this other stuff, which is never going to happen. We just have to identify the criminals, the offshore bank, the offshore cartels that own the Federal Reserve, and the corporations that are really entrenched in our nation. One of the things that's interesting, an idea that was given by somebody at work, and I thought it was a brilliant one. He actually wrote a letter to Obama. I don't know if Obama will actually receive the letter. I don't think I have it prepared, but if I did, I'd read it. It was a great letter, and he's saying it's a very simple thing. All you have to do is to make sure that all federal expenditures are for companies that manufacture their products in the United States. They don't have to be American companies, but they have to have their product produced here. What a simple fact. What an easy thing. Why isn't that happening? Well, it's because of the New World Order and their collectivist control of society. They are the ones who are running the show. And if we expose them, they're very weak, because there's really only a couple of thousand people involved in this, and about a dozen families at the top that rule it. It's not a huge army, but it's compartmentalized. But if the masses wake up, and we get some liberty people in government, and people run for office that really know what's going on, and are aware and awake, and just don't sell out. See, America's a sellout. Everybody wants to be rich. That's why it's a sellout society. That's why everyone's watching these shows, like Dancing with the Stars and everything else. And these $1 million homes that in New York City that nobody can ever hope to live in. But they want it. They want it, and it gets down to ethics, and it also goes down to the New World Order and their hatred of religion, organized religion, and it's just like evil and good. I mean, if you're evil, you're obviously not going to want to have anybody that's having good thoughts or being good. You want to perpetuate evil. Big myth is that there's only good and evil doesn't exist. It's just people do evil things. Well, just like there's God, there's Satan or the devil or whatever you want to call it, or Beelzebub or whatever you want to say. All of these forces exist, good and evil. So if God is just a force, which is really what it is, technically, we call it God, but it's a force. It's a force for good. Ultimately, there's a force for evil. And if you embrace evil, you're going to do evil things just like people that embrace good. You see the people like that guy that gets hit under the truck, his car, his motorcycle gets run over and he's burning to death. Everybody tries to save his life. The globalists, they would look at it and say, I wonder how it feels. I wonder if his flesh is melting yet. I can smell it through the screen. I love it. Do you think...
I wonder if he's got any babies in the backseat that I can eat.
Oh, yes! Is this my cousin Bernard? Bernard!
It's Bernard here.
Oh, Bernard! Oh, my goodness, I'm so glad we haven't chatted in such a long time. It's how to see my good cousin. Of course, you know that it's Philip here, Philip, what's been going on? I've been having councils with my wife, and I just don't know what's going on in the Netherlands these days.
Oh, I just ate about 4 babies today.
Oh!
I've watched myself.
Would you put them on the grill, or did you just deep fry them?
No, I eat them raw.
Raw? You like it raw? Oh, I like to deep fry them. You can hear them scream when you throw them in. It's just marvelous. It's better than a lobster.
When you take apart the arms and legs and you eat them, mighty, it's good.
I'm here to welcome my good friend and patriot and in freedom, Chris Freedom Flowers from Fight the New World Order. He's on 5 days a week, or actually Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, right? From 12 to 1.
Yep, and I'll be coming on after you today, Howard, because I wasn't able to come on at noon today.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Excellent.
Court case, my friend.
Oh, well, I hate when that happens. Well, we were just talking about... I was just talking about the whole problem with the prison system and the political corruption. That's really what I was focusing on the show. And also, I'll be heading over to Hartford this evening at 5 o'clock. Occupy Hartford we're getting down there. I'm going to try to wake people up to as well as a bunch of others, to this controlled event. Because it's really sort of, the Soros crew and these others, and the infiltrators and the Obama-nauts, I really believe that they're sort of trying to control this rebellion, for lack of a better word, and you got to wake them up to. We really have to address the problems, which is clearly the banks and the trillions that they've stolen.
Indeed, I agree.
Yeah, and then tomorrow, Saturday at 10 a.m., We Are Change is having a rally also at the Bushnell, and that should be good. I'll be getting video for all this and putting it up on the YouTube site. Chris Freedom Flowers also can be found on the We Are Change YouTube page as well, and that's on Freedom First Films on YouTube. You go to YouTube/Freedom First Films, all one word, and hear the wisdom and great knowledge of my good friend and brother, Chris Freedom Flowers.
Oh, thank you, Howard.
Oh, yes, oh, yes. I had a lot of things to say. It was unfortunate nobody chose to call in on the show. I did bring up a lot of things about the way this circular motion of the criminal justice system is designed to really enrich the private prison system, and how over 700,000 people are in prison in America for basically violations and victimless crimes like marijuana and skipping parole and stuff like that, where judges, of course, take bribes and get caught putting children away, which just happened in Pennsylvania. So I'm just hoping to reach the masses, and I guess the best thing that I could say is we have to be the change we wish to see in the world. And listen in to We Are Change with Howard Nema here on Informed Radio, Fridays from 1 to 3 Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays from 3 to 5. And with that, I'm going to give this over to Chris. And what are you doing today, Chris? What's on your agenda?
I'm going to most likely talk about the Thule Society, as well as read an interesting note that I wrote, article that I wrote actually, in connection with a possible conspiracy between the deaths of Russian hockey players and 3 current NHL hockey players, based on numerology.
Really? From you mean that crash that happened the other day?
Yeah, quite interesting. When you play around with the numbers, very interesting.
Wow. Well, yeah, your show on numerology was great, and again, you can see that link that's linked up. I put the show up on the wearechange.org, Freedom First Films youtube.com/Freedom First Films. You could see that whole show on numerology. I got most of it. It was an awesome information, Chris. I still can't believe some of the connections with the numbers, how they are so important, and how 11/11 and 9/11 and 9. Well, this year 9/11/9, and then 9/11, the connections with the 2s and 5 being death. It's just such an interesting spectrum that everybody should look into, because this is how they operate. This is the way the New World Order send their messages. Through stock trades as well. I mean, other things and other key insider information is given through this numbers and letters system. It's just an amazing thing. So that's fantastic. That's great news. Okay. All right. Once again, I'm just going to, I guess I'll close out here because it's your time to shine, Mr. Flowers. And I just want to again invite anybody that can in the greater Hartford, Connecticut area to make it down to Bushnell Park at 5 p.m. today for Occupy Hartford. And tomorrow, We Are Change will be having a rally also at 10 a.m. in Bushnell Park. Go to wearechange.connecticut.org for details. And with that, thank you for listening to We Are Change with Howard Nema on informedradio.com. And I'll give it over to Chris, Freedom Flowers, and fight the New World Order.